say turtle with a gun. Hello, everyone.
I know, that's Yoga Doctor.
I know. Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Romper Crew, episode 10, I want to say, actually. I think we were finally in the double digits.
I don't even know anymore.
Neither do I.
Don't you have a playlist yet of this?
No.
I know we talked about this.
I forgot.
Oh my god.
It's okay, I'll do it, guys. Anyway, so welcome to the Romper Crew.
Yes, it's time.
Today, we're talking about Hollow Knight.
Okay, I thought we were.
Yeah, I thought there was gonna be more grandiose to the title than that.
I thought you were just trying to read off a blank Cards Against Humanity card.
No,
it's just gonna take. It's just gonna take a year. Don't worry. Be patient.
Today is Hollow Knight Day. I just want to first say this up front. I'm sorry I picked apparently a really long game, guys. I know I've been saying this.
Thanks, buddy.
I know I've been saying this to you guys in private, but long story short, I didn't mean to pick this long of a game for everyone, but you know what? It happened.
I get the impression you probably thought it was a 4 or 5 hour indie title, and
I thought it was like 14 hours, maybe. Just got to extend that by another 10 hours.
I mean, you could have picked Half-Life at that point because it's 14 hours.
Yeah. But yeah. So yeah, just wanted to say I'm sorry, and because of that, I'm also going to say we're having a bit of a rule here in which 20 hours is going to be our limit in terms of our base games.
I was under the impression that was always the rule, and
yeah.
you just blatantly broke it.
Well, I'm gonna enforce it now harder, I guess, right? And then completionist time, of course, can vary to like up to 40 hours, is what I said. Just because, you know, we don't want another one of these kind of situations happening. This is coming out at the end of the month. We wanted to do things much earlier, but a lot of different things happened. So, you know, just wanted to sort of do that. Anyways, I am your host, Yogamoanyo, as most people would call me, because apparently it's impossible to say my name.
I still don't know how to say your name. Why do you think I started calling you Yogi?
Because Yogi there is awesome. Introduce yourself, Emerald Master.
Hello. I guess I'm spooky. At least I don't have a nutting horse as my Twitter icon.
Of course, of course.
Don't
A
give
blue
ideas.
nutting horse.
Yeah.
Anyway,
Mayonnaise Doctor.
But no, Doctor. Still here, surprisingly, still alive. The angry mop has not come to kill me after Metroid Prime.
angry mom. What now?
Don't forget to subscribe to Yoga Doctor. Sorry, just want to throw that plug in.
Angry mom. I'm missing something. What now?
Because I shot all over it, Metroid Prime, that entire video.
Yeah. And we are.
Oh, angry mob.
Yeah.
I thought you were saying angry mop.
Yes, the angry mop. Let's go.
Oh no, not the angry mop.
It's Dungeons of Horror.
But anyways, this is our beautiful background supplied by our good friend Mayo Doctor here. Hope you guys like it because I love it. You know, we got our good friend the Dung Knight diving into poop.
Shame you're not gonna get to see him for 95% of the video.
Yeah, you can't really see it, unfortunately. You can see a little bit. You know, you can see him kind of poking out, just a little bit.
You can see his bum sticking out. Good, perfect.
Yeah.
And Clutchy's on a new machine, so he can run at 1080p, 60 frames per second.
Yeah, I am.
I can already hear the Hat in Time Let's Play.
Woo! I'm excited for that.
Even co-op with that.
So let's get things started though with Hello Knight, Hello Kitty. I'm gonna just start on it's this crazy game mode. It's called Steel Soul.
Yeah, fuck that.
So I figured
what is that? Oh, yeah, I didn't even try that.
I
No,
figured
neither did I.
For funsies, I'll play with Steel Soul as as we're playing the game and talking about it, because you know who cares? It's just death.
Mayo, imagine having an unlockable behind that.
All right.
What fresh hell?
So let's
That
start.
sounds like Ukulele Impossible later.
Oh, of course.
They did that.
Yes, they did. So let's start with our history with Hollow Knight. Anybody want to start this?
I'll simplify mine.
Okay.
I mean, unless Mayo wants to go
All right,
first.
May'll start because his is basically what he just said.
Yeah, I have no history. I had very vaguely heard of the game in passing from a couple jokes here and there and video reviews on YouTube, but that's about it. Made a couple top 10s for some people, but again, that's it. I had no idea what type of game it was.
And then I forced him against his will to play.
Thanks, pal!
There was
Still angry after
handcuffs
last time.
involved.
Sorry, Mayo.
There were handcuffs involved.
There were, apparently so.
There are also light cuffs. He won't let me move.
Well, he's stuck in the basement. All right, and let's move on to Emerald then. Your history. You said you wanted to talk about it a little bit.
Pretty much not a damn thing. Nothing. Literally nothing. The only kind of history I would have with it is seeing someone stream a little bit of it.
So we basically have the same story.
Pretty much.
Interesting. Dude, my dogs are driving me insane because they are barking.
Is Winston a romper? Please say it's romper.
It's Romper. I don't know. I do not know what he's barking at, but it's driving me insane. So my history with the game then is gonna bug the hell out of me now.
Yes, go Romper, go!
Now Winston's going. So my history with the game was like I think a few years back. I think this game was like 2017. It's like a year or something like that back. Maybe when the game came out, I kept hearing people talk about the game. I'm gonna go insane, guys.
They don't even sound that loud.
That was Winston. Romper's going bonkers on the side. But anyways, I heard about the game. I think I heard about it from... I want to say... It was some YouTuber. I don't know who. I hate this, guys. I'm sorry. I'm sorry I have to keep bringing this up, but this is literally really obnoxious currently.
We're literally called the Romper Crew. We're named after a dog. This is perfect. Don't complain.
Bork, Bork. His presence must live on, even in Bork.
God. Somebody stop Romper, please!
Please! Nobody stop him! Guys, please encourage it.
Oh boy.
Anyways. Oh, this is driving me insane. I'm so sorry. I'm getting distracted. This is just driving me bonkers. Oh, he stopped. Praise the Lord. Okay. So, I was watching a few videos, and long story short, I heard about it. I heard everybody praising it, like crazy. It was really good. One of the best games they ever played, and it's just amazing, and it's a Metroidvania, and it's all that sort of stuff, which is what I love those kind of games.
There's a spike pit there.
Yeah, thanks.
That's why he's gonna jump there.
It's
okay. Death is permanent.
It is, yeah. So.
Oh, okay. Just cheese the system a bit. Okay, sure.
Why not?
Well, yeah, why would I not? But yeah, that's how I learned about the game, and because of that, I wanted to play it at some point, but obviously I didn't have the funds or any means to, so I never got to play it, and now I get to finally play it, and yeah, that's my history. That took so long to say because Romper was distracting me so bad. Oh, sorry about that. So yeah, that's my history with Hollow Knight. So I gotta know, everyone. Let's move on to the next part. Let's talk about first impressions. So I kind of give ourselves a little leeway, I guess, for lack of better description. Usually when I think of first impressions, I think of like the first 30 minutes to an hour, right? But given how long this game is, I feel like, the first 2 hours is probably more safe to talk about for first impressions of the game that you got.
You're used to wall jumping, aren't you?
Yes, I am.
Yes, I can
I'm
tell.
seeing you hover around walls.
But yeah, so I figured, when we're talking about our first impressions, let's talk about the first, 2 hours seems pretty good. I would cap it off around there, if you guys can remember, obviously, your experience and stuff like that. So,
Honestly,
who wants to start? Oh, it's fine.
Honestly, my first impression is, even though following a bit of a cutesy style, the Dark Souls format to it, if that makes any sense whatsoever. Beautiful game, honestly, visually. I mean, that's the best I've got.
For the first entire 2 hours, where you're just like, this game is beautiful, and that's it.
No, it was a little bit more than that. It's a good game. It good. It good.
Eat good. Well, I mean, did you feel anything about the controls, the graphics, anything? I mean, it's your first impressions, obviously. But...
like I just said, the visuals are beautiful. Honestly, even if it's following a bit of a cutesy manner to it.
I guess he was just so fixated on the visuals, guys.
It's
so pretty, man.
That's all he looked at. He couldn't even play the game for the first 2 hours. It's too busy, just basking in its beauty.
Okay. Good to hear the condescending opinions.
I mean, I'm asking for your first 2 hours. You're just like, it's beautiful. Anything else? It's beautiful.
I'll say this: it gave off the Metroid feel in areas more so than what Prime did.
It's messed up.
To me.
You're just hate biased.
Really now? You're definitely not crammed down my throat.
You're just hate biased.
Mayo, should we crack out the angry mayonnaise for this?
Well, I haven't had to use it in a while, but let's go.
Oh gosh, I heard him crack his knuckles.
I'll be thankful I wasn't trying to get Kaizo stuff, actually. No, actually, I was going to try to, just to make him miserable. Because honestly, I was in a very dick mood after that Prime experience. And it feels so weird not seeing your icon on the map. I used the compass the whole time.
So did I.
Mm-hmm.
But whenever it comes to this game, I like the atmosphere that it has. Its own unique take on creepy. I mean, not a bad thing by any means. Visuals, of course, are beautiful. Not that kind of beautiful.
I like that kind of beautiful.
You gotta make sense.
Oh yeah. You definitely want some of that erotic fan art of Hollow Knight, now, don't you?
Of course. How did you know?
I mean, you know.
Time to evade this topic.
I guess I assume that would be your overall first impressions with the game, yes?
Yeah, pretty much.
Alright, so then,
It does sustain a Metroid feel to it. It's just... map is a bit funky to look at it the first time.
Honestly, I never got used to the map.
So I guess let's keep this order. I like going last. What's Mayo's opinion? Opinion, first thought, impressions,
yes.
Opinion. Sorry. Ooh, gotta choose my words correctly.
That's fair. So, I immediately noticed the art style, which is something I already knew about because, like I said before, saw it in YouTube videos. Video starts it's very simple. I mean, ask me if I can mimic it that closely on the background, and come on, it's me. It still looks pretty good for what it's trying to do.
Yeah, it's very hand-drawn.
Yeah, it's not quite hand-drawn same style as some Cuphead, but...
No, it's clearly foot-drawn.
Now that's impressive.
Whoa.
Mayo wishes that was the kind of art he could do.
Yes! How'd you know?
Because I know you, Mayo.
Yeah. Other than that, though, I think I died within like the first 3 enemies, and it did not get any easier from there. So,
jeez, Mayo.
This game was very punishing.
I'm not gonna lie, I actually started yelling. I'm not joking, okay? It was actually pissing me off in areas.
I mean, like, I did somewhat get used to it by then, but again, first impressions. So for first impressions, I got really mad at it.
First impressions, I was an angry boy.
Yeah, basically.
It cracked open a big old jar of that Chipotle mayo.
Hey, don't tempt him. You'll get some Chipotle.
I have never had Chipotle. I'm just telling you that right now.
I think I've had it once.
Don't tempt him. He'll do it. Just for the memes. Is there anything else you have for first impressions, or would you say that was
everything? Like combine that with everything that Emerald said, and yeah, basically, because I think in my 2 hours, I didn't even get to the first boss. I spent a lot of my early game just dying over and over.
Oof,
I don't think I kept any of my whatever the current
Geo.
It's been too long. Geo, thank you. I think I lost almost all of it. Like within the first 2 hours, I'm pretty sure I lost at least 1,000 of it.
Here's the thing: I never died a second time whenever I lost all my stuff. Never.
I did once, but that was just because I was just stupid and couldn't figure out where my soul was.
On the map, it should show if you've got the compass, I'd imagine.
The compass, and you need to have the map from Cornford, which you don't always have right away, because if you happen to miss him, well, you come out of luck.
Either I was
that wasn't the reason why for me, actually. The reason why is because it was in the Coliseum, and I just... long story short, I was really determined.
Be right back.
Alright, long story short, though, I was really determined, and I just kind of, like, forgot. Also, hi, friend. Bye, friend. I kind of want M to be here for my first impressions a little bit, but it's fine. It's fine.
It's whatever.
My first impressions were, yeah, I guess we're all in the same sort of thought process. I was like, wow, this game is really beautiful. Also, my other thought impression was, wow, I can swipe my sword / nail at literally everything. Therefore, I'm going to do that.
Yeah, I had the same impression. That's what killed me.
I also, in my head, had, what's it called? I was like, the controls feel so great, responsive, and tight to me, I guess. I just kept doing the downward jump because it just felt so satisfying. Like the downward jump / like this. Yeah. Just because it felt so satisfying to do. And that was like mostly me, and I was also basking, I guess, in how beautiful the environments looked. Even though for 2 hours I think I only saw 2 the first 2 zones, I want to say.
So more progress than I made.
Yeah, that's kind of awkward. But yeah, and also to come to think of it, now that we just unlocked the shop, I did find it very bizarre that to mark where I've been, I had to go and put, like, the compass thing didn't bug me that much, but the whole marking the map thing, is somebody who plays Metroid how I normally do, like how I'm used to, like Metroidvanias, where I can just look on the map, see what I've explored. It was really weird having to go to a bench to update where I've been and what I've seen and what I haven't seen. There was just some weird thing about it that I just wasn't used to, and it was just weird. But overall,
I got used to it right away. It made sense to me.
Like, it made sense. It obviously made sense to me. It just felt so weird because it wasn't what I was used to.
I mean, there's also the fact that I haven't played a whole lot of 2D Metroid. I've played a little bit of Super, and I've played, I think, about like a third of Fusion, and that is it.
And you played,
oh yeah, and Samus Returns.
Yeah.
I always forget that one for some reason, despite the fact it's the one I played the most.
But, I also found I guess I should mention this too, is I know this game has been, compared to Dark Souls a lot.
Yeah, fair.
And I thought, I was confused at first, because I was like, this doesn't feel very Dark Souls to me. I was a little confused. Oh my god, I hope I die here, that'd be great. But it didn't feel very Dark Souls to me. And I was kind of confused, I guess, because I was like, huh, you know, for a game compared to Dark Souls, this doesn't really feel so Dark Souls-y to me. I wonder what they mean by that. You know, obviously this was a first impressions thing. Because that changed, I'll have you know.
Yeah, no, I noticed that one right away. Again, I died instantly. I saw what they meant.
But yeah, it was just kind of weird to me, the whole map thing, and then how beautiful it was, and the controls and all that sort of stuff felt. That's how my first impressions overall went, I would say.
Right.
Now this is the awkward part, because this is where I need M so we can move on to the next portion. So because we have to wait for him, I feel like there's no better time for me to say this.
Oh.
How's your day been, Mayo? Yeah, this is kind of awkward, because I do need
You won't
him
let
for
me
the
escape.
I won't. Look at this beautiful man. Look at him. Sorry for all the people that are not really watching the gameplay, but we're fighting a beautiful knight who's beautiful. He's also not really a knight, he's a false knight, you could say.
Yes. It's the thing.
Look, I need him here. This is important because
Emerald, where are you?
especially because the next section is gonna be like one of my favorites to talk about. This is what actually I was waiting for, or this is what I was getting before we started recording. I was looking for something.
Okay, sorry.
Oh,
Thank you.
He's back.
Sorry.
Okay. The awkwardness is gone.
We had to stall.
Yeah, because we were gonna move to the next portion. So all right, next portion.
Yes.
Let's talk about the story.
Yeah, I can't really help you much with this one.
Didn't read the lore to it. Again.
I read it, I just don't remember any of it. Take that as you will. Granted, it's been longer for me than it has been for...
But I'll say this, after seeing the ending and now looking at the beginning again, or the intro, yeah, someone clearly took a lot of inspiration from Dark Souls, and that's not a bad thing.
But I mean, you should say that! You weren't here, you brought this up for his first impressions.
I mean, I could see it in a lot of places, especially the ending. The ending just reeked with it. So does the beginning, apparently.
I thought this, like I mentioned, I thought it was weird. I thought the comparisons to Dark Souls was really weird, personally. At first, in my first impressions. But that changed. As time went on. But anyway, sorry. So I'm going to tell you guys how I interpreted the story, alright?
Okay.
Going through the game, because I'll be honest, I was lost. I guess I was like, I couldn't figure out the story. Right? I had to really think about it. So this is what I garnered from it. Okay, I need to.
I understood more of the story here than Metroid Prime. I'll give it that much at least. But
it's probably because you didn't read anything in Metroid Prime.
I did read Metroid Prime. It just didn't make any sense.
Grr.
I didn't read anything.
Okay, so let me explain this without. Let's see if I can try to. I'm trying to get into a mindset of me not knowing how things were, because I know how the story is now, right? So I'm trying to get into a mindset of what was it like beforehand. Like, what did I think it was beforehand? So I think this is how I thought it was beforehand. How I thought the story was like, I didn't know what was going on, but there was some sort of infection happening, and I had to kill these things called the Dreamers because they're holding closed, rather, not open. Something called a black egg, which holds the Hollow Knight. I don't know who the Hollow Knight necessarily is, besides he was a really good person, according to the lore, or I think is what they're saying.
The last boss, isn't it?
Yeah. And for some reason they're blocking the Hollow Knight, or they're holding the Hollow Knight in there, and I needed to go kill him. I don't know why, but there's some infection in my thing. What I assumed is he was causing this infection, whatever it truly was, to, you know, be bad, and we just had to stop him, right? It's from making the infection any worse. That's how I perceived the story without knowing anything beforehand. In that people were testing our strength, such as like Hornet and stuff like that, to be sure we're strong enough to stop him, because I guess we're the chosen one or something. That's essentially how I interpreted the story the first time through.
Okay, so we're just, you know, a skull-wearing Link. Okay. I
mean, that's how I interpreted it, without like any sort of
makes sense to me.
Lore reading or anything. Yeah, like that.
So yeah, his skull-wearing Link.
Yeah, that's kind of how I took it. So, I don't know, how did you guys take the story then? The same way, or did you guys have like a different interpretation?
The same way.
Clearly there was an infection going on.
Oh yeah, definitely. Especially if you go back to that first area at the end of the game. Definitely an infection.
Yeah.
There were some parts where I did rush through the text unintentionally without thinking, so...
It's okay. I'm used to not thinking.
Oh, okay. Ooh. Ooh. That small dick energy. Ooh. Ooh.
Anyway, sorry. Explain your interpretation, because I have a beautiful, actual... What's it called? I looked for an actual synopsis somewhere, so I can explain to y'all what the actual story is.
There was... The one part that really stuck out to me was the mention of the king. And I was getting some mixed signals from that. That he's either a bad person or a good person. It's one of these... With how naive I am, I'm easy to fool in a variety of areas. And... I mean, there was clearly infection going on, so... One would assume, perhaps I was thinking, oh... He was causing the infection somehow. So, I mean, my interpretation of the story is piss poor, so...
Your interpretation, I assume, is like the same thing, except the king was the reason why the infection was going on, I assume?
Yeah, because there was no mention of the Hollow Knight that I can ever recall, except maybe once or twice. But it was not sustained in memory enough to write home about.
Alright, let's sit on this bench, because I'm going to read this synopsis for everyone here. This was provided by Nate2247 from Reddit. Let me just...
Already off to a wonderful start.
So...
He's just going to whip his, his
like,
piece of paper out in game just to read it off of Reddit.
This is like one of the smallest, like the shortest synopsises that I could find. Thing that wants to be a god, aka the worm in parentheses, usurps another god, the Radiance in parentheses, by convincing its followers, the Moth Tribes in parentheses, to stop worshipping her, reducing her power to pretty much nothing. The worm then sheds its form and is reborn as the Pale King, ruler of the land of Hollownest. Hollownest quickly becomes a powerful kingdom. After a while, a statue depicting the Radiance is discovered on the edges of the kingdom, reinstalling the idea of the Radiance. This gives her more power, which she uses to create the infection, which turns its victims into mind-controlled magic zombies. The Pale King doesn't like this very much, so he uses the Abyss to create a vessel, which is essentially a living person that has no thoughts, feelings, or emotions, thus preventing mind control so it can be used to trap and contain the Radiance. Unfortunately...
let me interrupt for a moment. Sorry about that. That's in direct reference to who you play as, isn't it?
Yeah,
yes.
That's what I'm getting from it. Like, the empty vessel is the playable character.
Yeah. Unfortunately, creating a perfect vessel is extremely difficult, as even the slightest imperfection can result in the radiance breaking free and or gaining control over the vessel. This leads to hundreds, possibly thousands of vessels being created and discarded into the abyss, left to decay and go mad. Lo and behold, it does not... lo and behold, it does, as apparently it wasn't as pure... Or wait, no, hold on. Eventually, he creates seemingly perfect vessel dubbed the Hollow Knight, which he presents to the dying land of hollowness as their last savior. They use it to seal away the radiance inside the black egg, seemingly to great success. As protection, 3 dreamers, Hera the Beast, Monomon the Teacher, and Lurian the Watcher, give their lives to be permanently locked away in the dream world where the radiance resides, acting as an extra set of locks just in case the Hollow Knight fails. Lo and behold, it does, and apparently it wasn't as pure of imperfections as the Pale King has thought. The infection ravages the kingdom and its people, and the Pale King says, "Fuck this bullshit," and nopes himself and his entire castle into places unknown. You play as one of the discarded vessels who has somehow escaped the abyss and tirelessly works towards the one thing you were created for, to put an end to the radiance once and for all. That is the story, and then there's multiple endings, so there's multiple ways that...
Granted, I didn't 100% complete the game, but I only got maybe 30% of that through my playthrough.
Seems like I got 73.
I got all of that. Speaking of the radiance, did you guys enjoy that battle?
I don't even know what the radiance is.
Hey, did you enjoy the radiance battle?
Radiance. Describe to me that boss, because...
Giant moth god, that's the final boss.
Why?
So I'm the only person who fought the radiance. Alright, I knew this would happen, so it's okay, it's alright. Anyways,
I thought a Hollow Knight was the final boss.
Nope, that's just... It's not... There's the secret final boss called the Radiance.
So it is the final boss, just the forefront one.
Yes.
If I knew that's how it was, I would have gone for one of the different endings, but...
There are like 5 endings to the game. 2 of them, granted, aren't really...
for the basic 20% ending.
Basically, think of it like this. You guys both missed the technically canon ending. So you guys got the ending in which... the Hollow Knight, takes in the infection, basically repeating the cycle that the Hollow Knight, or rather, you the Knight, I should say, which is this is the ending you got for just killing the Hollow Knight. You take in the infection and you're just taking his spot, essentially. It's just like redoing the whole curse thing. That's very Dark Souls, as M pointed out, because it's just like the curse in Dark Souls. You're just taking it for a second. You know, you're just... You know what I mean. You're holding it.
You're a sentient battery, essentially.
Yeah, and you're now holding the infection this time around, and hopefully nothing bad happens. So yeah. And that's it, guys. That's the story. What do you guys think about the story now that you know what it actually is?
Painfully Dark Souls-like.
Also, to elaborate, you guys did get the first ending again, which is you take the vessel, like you're the vessel, and the cycle repeats. There's 2 endings. There's the fake ending, which basically when you're saving or killing, what's it called? When you're killing the Hollow Knight, what's her name? Hornet comes in and helps you, and you have to go to the dream world to fight the Radiance. What you do instead is you don't go into the dream world to fight the Radiance. You just kill the Hollow Knight, knock her unconscious. It's the same ending as the first one, except now the only way to get in is you have to kill Hornet, but you can't kill her because she's locked in the place with you, the black egg. So that's a fake ending, though. And then the real ending is you kill the Radiance, which is like an entity, not really a god. It's more of just kind of like a being that exists, if that makes sense. And you stop like you seal yourself, I think, in the black egg, but the infection is like gone because you killed the radiance. That's basically the story. Yeah, the game doesn't really tell you. It's kind of like Dark Souls, where you have to go out of your way to figure it out, or Metroid Prime. You know, it's that sort of style. Where you have to figure out, like, you have to go out of your way to talk to people, figure out all that sort of stuff, if you want to get, like, the big picture of things. And that's the story, which, you know, I'm not surprised none of you knew, because I didn't know. I was just as confused as you guys
I read
were.
everything that I saw in my path, and I still, like I said, I only got, like, 30% of it.
Yeah.
Like, I'd seen all the stuff involving the Pale King, but that's about it.
The Pale King sounds familiar. I just...
there's a statue of him in the waterways, or not the waterways, the City of Tears.
Yes. Same with the Hollow Knight himself.
I mean,
but you fight him anyway, so... Also, he's in the White Palace, which you did go to, Em.
Oh, God.
I didn't. I wanted to, but honestly...
Mayo, you will be glad that you didn't.
It's very difficult.
It is.
Yeah, I've heard.
Oh, it's not as hard as one of the bosses I had to deal with, but it was still hard.
I bet you it's the same boss as me, because, okay, so Em, I actually had Vic asking you every now and again, not all the time, just every now and again check in on you, where you were at.
I have to ask you to cut back on that just a tad, though, because, I mean...
No, I have to ask.
Asking... That's fine. It's just cut back on it a tad. That's all I'm asking.
I have to, especially when you're the last person when we were waiting on you. I had to.
We had to know if we were going to push back the recording date.
Speaking of which, how many long games have we been playing that's been like this?
I think this is the only one outside of Final Fantasy VII.
Define long games.
Final Fantasy VII.
Define long as 20 hours as we've been, or...
No, clearly this is the second game that we've done that's in that length. Clearly.
Yeah.
Yeah, easily. So then what do you mean?
Okay, so I've been probably putting stuff off then. My bad.
What do you mean? I'm confused. Elaborate.
You know what? It's not important. Don't worry about it.
Okay. Let's.
You were guessing about which boss I was struggling with?
Oh, I know which boss you're struggling with. Probably.
I don't.
And I found out later, oh, maybe I should, fine-tune some of my shit before fighting them, because it was late in the game before I actually fine-tuned stuff.
It was just your good friend, the Dream Mage. Don't worry about it, Em.
Good friend, yeah, okay.
Am I right, though? Was it him?
Yeah.
See, I knew.
And going back to him with, more refined equipment, he's nothing.
That's how these games go. Hey! Come back here!
Hey?
It was just my good friend. Technically, just so you know, Hornet is technically your guys' not sister, but you guys are technically related. It's apparently the female watcher only decided that she only agreed to being one of the watchers if the Pale King had sex with her. Not a joke. Thus creating Hornet.
Okay, that's a bit.
Well,
dark.
okay then.
Yeah, she said she would only do it if she bears the if she bears a child. So Hornet.
You could have put it like that, because geez.
I mean, it's the same thing though. Like,
yes, but it's a lot cleaner.
Look, they're just bugs.
Shit.
All right, everything in this game are
they're
bugs.
Just bugs. Okay,
everything in this game is bug.
Yes.
Everything in this game is bug. Okay.
Yes.
What about in the fungus place? Everything is fun.
Yes.
So, everything is just shroom.
So let's move on to the next part though. Controls. So I kind of tapped on this. Em wasn't here. I kind of tapped into this when I was doing my first impressions. I really thought the controls were great when I first started the game, and I still think they are great. I kind of wish I had the dash earlier, but that's just a me thing. But
no,
overall,
you're not the only
Yeah,
one.
no, definitely.
Because Dash should have been around a little bit early. No,
Honestly,
actually,
it should have
quite a
been the
bit
start.
earlier.
yeah, I agree.
Honestly, there's a couple other abilities I think they probably shouldn't have locked off either. Your base moveset is a little too simple for my liking, but could be anything.
It's okay. That's what the sequel's gonna fix.
Get
Yay.
what? Sequel? Sequel?
Yeah,
Is sequel?
get to play
Until you
as-
get the inevitable power loss an hour in.
You get to play as a Hornet. So
Okay.
I don't know when it's coming out, but
I think it's supposed to come out this year.
hopefully
Okay.
It's supposed to come out
how
last year.
convenient.
you get to play as Hornet. It's called Silk Song, by the way. Hollow Knight Silk Song.
Okay.
So
okay.
what did you think about the controls overall, Mayo? Then personally, seems we're all in
I
agreement. about the
definitely
dash
had
thing.
some problems with it. There were some deaths I had that I 100% blame the controls. But overall, I think they do their job well.
So I felt the same way too
Like
at
dashing
some
down?
points, but I realized what my mistake was. So one thing that I didn't learn, and it took me a while to truly like learn, and I'll 100% admit this was my fault. I was struggling against a boss because every time I tried to double jump, I swear my double jump wasn't going off. The thing is, it does go off, but for the double jump, you need to there's a little bit. How do I describe this? Like when you're doing
slight delay.
yeah, like when there's a slight delay and you kind of go down a little bit before you
Yeah.
actually go up.
Yeah, you do a light dip before
Yeah, you
doing anything.
you do a light dip. And that was killing me a lot in certain bosses, and I thought the game wasn't inputting like jump control, like jump command, but I just was so not used to the fact that you were like there was a little bit of a jump, like a little bit of an arc, I guess. Or whatever,
A
right?
dip.
Yeah, there's
right?
a little bit of a dip, and I kept blaming. I honestly did blame the game for that a few times because I thought it was the game's fault, but it was actually just my fault in the end because
And honestly, that's still pretty
dip.
Well, I would.
interesting of a design decision.
I'll say this, even though it may have been my mistake, whenever going and attaching to walls and trying to get over these, these big pits that, well, if you fall into them, you have to start back at a certain point.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was always fun dashing down.
Did you get the dash down ability or use it rather?
Yes,
Yeah,
I mean,
yeah,
I was
did.
using
It was
dash.
basically
What I'm
mandatory for me because I had to spam dash everywhere.
Am I the
What
only-
I'm saying is dash down as in down and dash.
Yeah,
Dashing into the pit like an idiot, which was a mix of my fault, but also not my fault because it's something that I didn't exactly know about at first.
am I the only one who didn't use that then?
Apparently.
That pin.
I mean, personally, that's one of those abilities that I think should have just fit and baked into your base set.
I
I
had
didn't.
I had
like,
no spot where I found any need personally for the downward
Well,
dash.
you don't need it, but you don't need it in the same way that you don't technically need the pin that shows you where you are in the map. You don't
You
need
really
it, but
don't
it's really
have
nice.
to have it.
Yeah,
It's just
I
helpful.
guess for lack of a better explanation, I never felt the need to dash downwards. I thought just falling was fine enough for me.
I mean,
Well,
you don't
imagine
need it that much,
on-
but remember that pin also has the ability to dash one after another immediately if no delay whatsoever.
True.
That's why I had it on.
True.
Which is
That
very
gave it
helpful
value.
regardless.
Yeah, true. I can understand that much. I never dashed down though.
Because I practically never used any of the 2 or 2+ notched pins. I typically use the 1 pin or 1 notch pins.
There was a few
Yeah.
pins that
I think there's a 1-2 notch I used, but I used
And
just
then
like
I'm
once.
seeing up to 5 notches. Really? Okay.
Oh yeah, like screw that.
Okay. Yeah. Like it's like asking for someone's entire paycheck just to do this or that.
You want to ask for someone's entire paycheck for doing stuff? If Mayo didn't get, I don't think he found the troop, but you can, the unbreakable stuff, you can make them, or the breakable stuff rather, the breakable pins from our good friend on the bottom
Yeah.
left, the leg eater. You
Yeah.
can make them breakable, or unbreakable,
Yes, I
for
knew
the
about
hefty
that.
price of 15,000 for one, 12,000 for another, and I think 10,000 for another.
And I thought 8,000 to get the max level nail was asking too much.
I think it was 4,000.
I mean, I was up to 12,000 Geo by the end of the game, okay?
Yeah, by later in the game, yeah, I also was getting a whole bunch of Geo, and I was like, okay.
And that was thanks to the Wanderer's Journals, which, honestly, do they serve any lore purpose?
Yes, when you get the journals and stuff like that, it's the dude who you give them to will give you like a little bit of lore to what's going on.
Okay, I really wish I would have known that, because I would have read it off.
Yeah, after a while, he starts repeating stuff, but yeah, you need, what's it called? Or
he's a good way to get that, that sweet, sweet Geo.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, that's his entire point. You get relics.
Well, yeah.
He gives you Geo. Yeah, it's his entire purpose is to give you money.
Here's a journal I found on the ground outside. It was next to a quartz. Here you go. Yeah, now where's my sweet golden?
Here's $200.
$200. Sweet.
$200 for a dead man's journal. That's actually kind of sadistic.
Well, as Yoga Doctor has established, Mayo is sadistic.
Yes.
Well, then I'm ill-informed. Oh boy.
But to be fair, more masochist.
How did you? Yes, you are.
In terms of the controls, because I don't recall saying an opinion about this, they're tight, very tolerable. They work very well.
To me.
It's just if this was my game, I would not go with the immediate stop stuff. That's just me, though.
Well. Okay, I'm gonna just say there's a immediate problem with you saying if this was my game, because if you say if this was my game, you would make everything perfect to your attunement.
Well, of course. I mean, why would you not?
Yeah, I think.
I mean, I'm not trying to come off as picky, though. I mean, the game is very tight with its controls. Clearly, feels nice. It feels fun to do, except for dashing down. Because
it does feel awkward. I didn't use it ever, but I did try it out, and I did think it felt awkward.
Well, whenever you're going over the pits, like I said, you can dash in the pits, and, well, not necessarily your fault, now is it?
Well,
because
it
if you're
your
trying
fault
to
for putting the directional command in, yes.
Directional command.
Yeah, I just started using the D-pad once I got that thing, because I was so scared of accidentally dashing down.
Yeah. It's your fault for doing it, but maybe it's a little too picky, like with the control. Like maybe if you're diagonal right, instead of commanding you to go right, it goes to the down.
I'm not asking to go and dash in 8 directions. Jeez.
No, what I'm saying is like maybe that's what was like happening.
Well, you know how you have to spring yourself off of some enemies' backs just to cross pits, right?
It's very rare, but yes.
That was the part that was really irritating whenever it came to dash, because you would actually have to let go of down, which there's nothing wrong with that. It's just I don't recall ever hearing or even reading about a down dash. That's my problem.
Well, luckily too, there's an easier way for jumping off of enemies. If you're having problems, there is longer nail reaching. If you can spend like a notch or two for a longer reaching nail. So that can help with some of those platforming segments. There's a lot of things that, honestly, if you need to quickly swap out your notch for something, luckily there's a lot of stuff to, like, you can just swap out, you know what I mean? Like, not on a whim, because you do need to go to the benches, but...
Yeah, and that's kind of where I can't agree with it, because you never know when another bench is...
Yeah. I feel like a lot of it is really, like a lot of those harder stuff, rather, though, is for backtracking if you want to for optional stuff. All the really hard stuff, minus like a very select few sections, are optional and aren't mandatory, which is good, because for people that can't do those really tight platforming segments, at least you don't have to if you don't want to. But I still think that if you do need to do them, I think the controls are fine enough and simple enough where it's not that big of a deal, personally.
It's just fear of dashing into a pit of some kind. It could be
that's on you guys. I was not afraid of that, but I can understand that.
That problem also, I will return again to the whole comment of not always having a map of the area because you can't find Cornifer. So sometimes you just straight up don't know where you're going. So I still end up wandering into those harder areas. Anyway, I don't know I'm not supposed to be doing that.
I'll have you know, it took me until like over half the game, I think, to get the City of Tears Cornifer map.
What?
Yeah, I
Really?
apparently didn't realize there was a platform you were supposed to jump on right after, like, right at the beginning of the City of Tears. I noticed it, but I was like, I thought it was kind of a part of the background, so it took me a really long time to find.
Yeah, funny you should say that, because Green Path has a bad
Green Path
habit
was
of doing
awful.
that. Green Path really has a bad habit of that.
Yeah. I thought this, which is we're in right now, I thought Green Path, this was kind of rough for me because I couldn't find Cornifer. I honestly thought that I was in the wrong area, so I backtracked because I couldn't find him.
Yeah.
Also, I was stupid and didn't realize I had to go down one area, and I was just a little lost at the start.
I just couldn't find him in a lot of areas. Like, Green Path's one of them.
That
Royal Waterway, I could not find him to save my life.
In where?
The Royal Waterway.
Oh, yeah.
Is this that guy that whenever you go into his house, he's clearly stoned out of his mind by the infection?
Cornifer's the guy you get the maps from.
Cornifer's Map Man.
The guy in the upper right. To the background.
I don't know about the stoned guy you're talking about, actually.
Yeah, I don't know who that is.
No, the stoned, as in your eye.
Yeah,
I don't know who you're
I don't know
talking
who you're referring to. You're going to have to elaborate.
The cricket, or you get a lot of your stuff from the shopkeeper.
You mean Zoe? No, not Zoe.
Okay, apparently I'm thinking...
Sly, yeah, that's what I meant, not Zoe.
Yeah, that's right, he's Sly, jeez.
He's not infected, by the way. Infected people are mindless. He is safe. Also, he's a nail master.
A what? A nail master?
Yes.
What?
Really?
He is
What?
the you know the dude where you get them nail master stuff, the charge, all the charge attacks and stuff like that.
Yeah,
He is their mentor.
of course he is.
Because if you get all,
it makes perfect sense.
if you get all three, he gives you a amazing what did he think? Charm. I actually had to pause the game because I remember what they're called. He gives you an amazing one, which makes the charge time like twice as fast.
Apparently I should have gone and
For
talked to
two
him. I got all
notches.
three of them.
Yeah, if you talk to him, you talk to him, and he's like, "Oh, you figured out all my stuff, or the dudes or whatever." Also, if you use the dream nail on, because you can use the dream nail on a lot of people and stuff like that. I don't know if you realized that because you can listen to him.
Yeah.
He says, I hope you three are doing fine down there, because he's referring to the dudes he mentored. But yeah, he's a nail master. Apparently he's a boss battle too, but I never did it.
I never saw that boss.
Neither did I, so I don't blame you guys.
Didn't even know.
I just know that little tidbit of information because, again, after I beat the game, at that point I feel like all bets are off in terms of me looking up stuff. As long as especially because I did like 92% of the game or something like that. But yeah, I assume you were talking about that dude, Em, when you were referring to
Yeah,
some
where
stone
he,
guy.
for some reason, he's high off of something whenever you go into his house. He thanks you for getting him out of that muse.
Why does that make him high?
I don't get it either.
Something's clearly wrong with him. I mean, you can be high off of sugar, let's be honest. You can be high off of caffeine.
He was probably the most sane person outside of like Cornifer.
No, I'm
and
not
his
saying
wife.
he's that way all the time. I'm just simply saying whenever you actually go into his house and actually talk with him, you pretty much click him out of that state.
I don't remember this, but I'll take
I don't
your word
either.
on it.
This is in the first area. It's... Or maybe I'm
It's
just
been a
wording
few
something
weeks I
wrong.
beat the game, though, so
I'll take your word on it. I just don't remember it. That's all. If we ever see Sly, because I'm kind of trying to go through a lot of the game as
Maybe this will help. The charm shop, literally just a small walk from there.
yeah.
yeah.
Okay, mate.
We know who you're talking about. I think we're just confused on the context you're
Yeah.
When you first interact with him, something seems wrong with him.
Does it? I don't remember.
I don't remember that.
Yeah, I can't comment. I don't remember.
Well, I mean, there was a lot this game kind of threw at us, so...
It is a long game.
We're not saying you're wrong. We're just saying we don't remember.
Yeah. It's a long game. So.
And it's kind of specific anyhow, so...
So, I did want to ask you guys, though, to elaborate further on the controls. How did you guys overall feel like as you progressed in getting all the upgrades and all the stuff? The true Metroidvania experience. How did getting all that stuff in the controls reflect? Like, how did you guys feel about all that stuff too?
It felt amazing. I'm sorry?
It felt so much better by the end.
Oh, absolutely.
I felt like there was, instead of, putting a Band-Aid on a broken arm, you actually opened up the arm, done what you needed to clean it up, stitched it back shut, had a splint put on it.
This is getting oddly gruesome.
And, actually being able to do the shit right. Play the game right.
Yeah, like I said before, I kind of think some of the abilities you get should have been part of your base moveset. Like, I understand not having Shadow Dash right away, but normal dash you probably should have had.
Yeah,
really.
I think that's the only one that they really should have just made it. You have that by default. Because, like, I'm already yearning for it right now. I'm really close to getting it.
Honestly, I would say maybe wall jump too.
Yeah, wall jump is great too. But I can understand why you wouldn't give wall jump immediately. It just feels great once you get it, is the thing. But
it feels like you're really slow when you don't have it.
I feel like the controls were overall great. It just, it feels better once you actually start getting everything. It feels even better. I just think the dash, and we all seem to agree on this. We all agree that we think the dash should have been immediate. If anything. Like, wall jump, as much as I would love to have it immediate, I can at least understand not having it immediately. As for everything else, or as for the dash, I mean, what's wrong with having a dash immediately?
You're not going to beat bosses faster with the dash.
Or at least, like, if we're not going to have it immediately, give it to us after killing, like, the False King or something. Or False Knight, rather. Not False King.
I mean, to be fair, they give it to you, like, immediately after the False King.
Yeah. Knight, there is no False King.
Yeah, fine.
We get to save our favorite friends, Zote. I hate you, Zote.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, very obnoxious.
There's an achievement for getting him killed.
Oh. Huh.
Well, okay then.
I kind of wish I did it, but I think if you get him killed, you don't get to get his super boss, which I don't know if you guys ever found.
Nope. I don't even know who that is.
You have to save him and some girl bug, and they start talking, and a door opens, and you go into a dream world and you fight Zote the Mighty. It's like a big version of him, and you have to fight him like, I guess, 10 times, and you get get like a full ending. Because so basically, there's this girl there's a bigger version of Zote, I think, that saves this girl bug, right? Or promised to save this girl bug. And Zote went down there to go try to save her, but you save her instead. And she thinks that you and Zote are the same, but the more you kill this Zote boss, the more she starts remembering that the small Zote is not the real Zote, and therefore, like, you basically screw Zote's life up, is how it sounds. Which is really funny. I know that shouldn't be funny, but Zote's a piece of crap and I hate him. But yeah, so let's move on though. We could probably not, this probably doesn't need to have much discussion because we already talked a lot about it in first impressions. Graphics though, we all agreed that it was really good, but the more the game went on, I still think it held up a really nice and pretty art style and all that sort of stuff. I don't think anything really...
Aesthetically, it's great. Graphically, it's only so-so.
Yeah, that makes sense. Like, if we're talking about the nitty-gritty of specifics in terms of, like, graphics and stuff like that, yeah. I do think the art style is amazing. I do think they managed to, and Em actually, like, mentioned this really briefly. I think they did the, like, a whole creepy area in the Deep Nest very well. Like, I was actually surprised on how well they managed to make,
funny how something cute can actually go full-blown scary, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean, it's also like a spider zone, so people who don't like spiders are immediately gonna probably hate that area.
I mean, I don't like bugs.
A lot.
I mean, ladybugs are fine.
I'm kind of bugs, and I still didn't like that area.
I like bugs. Had some annoying enemies, but besides that, I thought for a creepy zone though, especially with the sound and audio, which is going to be the next section, so we can kind of just like put these two together now. I thought they worked out very well, which overall...
My one gripe though is that area sounds like a bus station. Holy shit!
It's because it is a bus station.
For bugs.
Yeah.
Yes.
It's a bug station, not a bus station.
Yeah, your point.
It really bugged me. That's my point.
It really bugged him. You get it? Because this game is just bugs.
This game is a bug.
Did you have any bugs, guys?
You're making my skin crawl.
You could say I'm really bugging you.
This is beautiful.
And just like that, the subscriber count goes about down by 10%.
Only 10%? No, we need to do more!
Oh god, for every joke...
Come on, let's go!
For every joke you make that's like this, you lose 10 subscribers.
It's really crawling under my skin.
There's only so many bug puns you can make, okay? If I keep going, I will.
Yeah, you could say it's a stag.
What is a stag anyway? I'm curious. Giant beetle?
Yeah, it's a stag beetle.
Yeah. Come on, tell me you never played Animal Crossing?
Beetle. Okay. Stag beetle.
Alright, I'm at Hornet. How many times did you guys die to Hornet?
I beat her first try,
Once or twice?
Wow.
At least for the first attempt. Second attempt, I died to her like 50 times. But first attempt, I beat her first try.
I beat her second try. Man, Mayo did better than me.
Yeah, but I died to False Knight like 10 times. So, make that out as you will.
Okay, that right there was kind of bullshit. I'm not gonna lie, because that just, you know, hit you by a hair.
How do you like also too that the bosses all have a stagger in which you can heal or take a free shot at?
That's very helpful.
Yeah, very.
I like that too. Like if you're doing a good job, I like the whole option that they give in terms of.
Also, it's a good indicator of how far along you're on the boss since there's no health bars.
Yeah. Also, how do you guys feel too about the healing overall? I should ask you that the whole soul mechanic and stuff like that.
I don't mind the mechanic itself. The problem I have with it is that there's so many other abilities that are tied to that same. I never used them because I was terrified I was going to end up dying.
Yeah, and I can understand that. I'm kind of the same way. Well, except the magic ball or whatever the heck it's called.
I never used that.
I never used that because the damage just felt so minuscule.
Like even after you get the shadow damage increase.
Are you talking about the projectile?
Yes.
Yes.
I used it quite a bit because it actually does surprisingly more damage than refining your nail twice.
Well, once I started getting some upgrades and stuff like that, I don't know, it felt much better for me to use the thank God. It felt better overall for me to just not use it. I don't know. It just felt like I could swipe my weapon more, and that felt better.
There you go. You finally got the dash.
Yeah, I know. It feels good.
And things just explode into reality. Oh wait.
So this one's pretty simple. Because I don't think there's much to really talk about here outside of like the soundtrack. But how did you guys feel about sound and audio? I think the audio design is
thought
fine.
it was great, honestly.
I think the soundtrack is amazing.
The soundtrack specifically is great. The atmosphere, pretty good.
Yeah, it does what it does. Fine enough. The atmosphere. I think the soundtrack is amazing, though.
I'm never going to listen to the soundtrack again. It's never going to stick with me.
It's messed up, Mayo.
It makes me wonder what kind of music you're into, then, Mayo.
He doesn't like
anything
atmospheric.
Yeah, I just don't like atmospheric tracks. And somebody keeps picking games of atmospheric music, so every single time I've said that I don't care for it.
The boss fights aren't very atmospheric, but they're pretty awesome.
Honestly, those are fine.
Actually, yes, they're atmospheric. No, not really.
Mayo, or Mayo. Don't be so mean to Mayo. What did he ever do to you?
I didn't.
Really, be mad at him.
Uh-huh.
Okay, just a quick thing. You seen that one enemy at the dock, right?
Well, at the edge of the thing, yes.
Yeah, I ran into him because I thought he was an NPC.
So did I. I'm just gonna leave him alone this time, though.
That's what he looks like.
And then I yeeted the poor bastard off the dock and actually said, "You dick."
Maybe that's what he wanted all along.
Why else do you just stand off next to a dock?
How'd you know it's charging? Sorry, that's what my stepdad said.
So is there anything else for audio and sound?
Not really. I mean, funny enough, I think that's one of the more minor things. I think the soundtrack is great, but I don't really have much to comment beyond that. And it seems M is in the same agreement. It seems, for the most part, you're in the same agreement. Like, I think the sound effects and all that stuff, it's fine. There's nothing overtly, like, satisfying or not that satisfying or anything. Everything is just kind of like, it does what it does fine. And the music, I think, is great.
No one whips out the full-blown orchestra. It goes completely ham.
Ham sandwich.
Okay.
I don't know why that made you so quiet, but...
I was wanting to say ants like ham sandwiches, you know.
Ants in your pants?
Bugs?
Bugs?
Did somebody say bug puns? Wow!
does Mayo have?
No, this episode's really making my skin crawl.
I think you're writing stuff out like 4 times. So you know what that means? It's making my skin crawl.
Oh my god.
You know it's better than make a pun. Make the same pun 4 times.
So...
Really making me itch because it's just biting and gnawing at me.
So, I guess the only other thing to really talk about now is overall, like, just game discussion, which we kind of have been to begin with, but now we can just go full on, not focus on anything. Let's just talk about the game, all that sort of stuff, all the things we like, didn't like, what have you. I know. So one thing I noticed too is because we all posted our completion time and all sort of stuff. We all finished at the same time frame, but we all had a different kind of
percentage.
I think Mayo
had
like
I had 60%. I think Emerald had around 70%. Then Yogi had 90%.
Yeah, I had 92.
For all those.
M had, I think, 76, and I think
you had
62.
91 based on what
I had 91, but then I got another ending, so it jumped up to 92 for me.
Okay,
I think I had 61. I'd have to scope it for mine.
Something like that. So, what did, Oh,
I have my picture up right here, actually. It was 61%. It was 24 hours, 13 minutes, 8 seconds.
Yeah, mine was like 25 hours, 1% when I sent the image, though I did do one more ending directly afterwards.
So yours doesn't
I
fully
think
count.
about 23 hours for me.
I think yours was 24 also.
No, mine was 23.
Oh.
Yeah, 23 hours.
Yogi's was 91%, 25 hours, 31 minutes, 42 seconds. I'm looking through the chat for all of these.
Luckily,
and Emerald's was 73%, 23 hours, 31 minutes, seconds.
Okay. We all had similar times.
Remembers the grub worm, the fake grub worm?
I had trauma of that every moment after that happened.
I did too, but
last one I had.
They never appeared except in one spot.
The Coliseum, they show up.
Oh, I know.
Yeah, really, there's multiple then. We're not pulling this, it's used one time. Shenanigans.
Very, very rarely are they used.
But that doesn't change anything. You're still terrified of them showing up once you find out, oh, wait, this is the thing that can happen.
You just start seeing the mutation, and then everyone's just all like JonTron going, no, 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 no.
See, how I assumed things was like the easiest ones to get, those would be the fakes. And then the hard ones would be the not fakes. But the not fakes barely ever popped up, and it confused
yes,
me.
reverse psychology.
Terrifying.
More like reverse physiology. Am I right? I love science.
Bland.
Tough crowd, apparently. Y'all got quiet.
I mean, it's not a
crickets.
bug pun. It's not a bug pun.
You could say it's... I
Really
got nothing.
making my skin itch.
Gosh dang it.
I love it so much. It's so beautiful.
It's just getting worse.
You need better.
For better or worse. Haha.
I'll allow it.
It gives a burning sensation.
No, that's the alcohol.
What? when do fire ants have alcohol? What?
Well, you see... But
What? Did they also speak to us in an Irish accent?
Yes!
Yes!
You've never heard them talk to you before?
Oh God!
me and Mayo aren't crazy. You're crazy.
Yeah, I'm not crazy.
And see that, kids? This is why mayonnaise is sometimes not an instrument.
This
Only
is exactly the same mayonnaise as an instrument.
This is why you also sometimes use horseradish.
That's fine. Even though I acknowledge mayonnaise can't be used for everything.
So, anyways, though, go ahead, guys. Tell me a little bit about how you felt overall playing most of the game and stuff. Now it's full-on discussion, because there's nothing to specifically talk about in this game, except for, like the
Unless you were
areas...
going like area by area.
Yeah, and there's not really too much... I guess we could.
Well, although maybe my fault, that's beside the point. Taking constant hits, it felt like, that really got infuriating for me. Just saying.
Yeah.
I mean, I didn't mind taking constant hits over tiny little things, especially because later on I did get a heal faster or use soul faster thingy, or basically.
Yeah, I
heal
mean, I got
faster.
that too, but I just couldn't equip space.
I mean,
Everything I had was either the map viewing thing or something that helped with mobility. And I refused to get rid of those.
Sometimes I wouldn't heal if I knew I was gonna get to gosh dang it. If I knew I was gonna get to like a bench kind of soonish, and I was just like, I'll just hold on to it because I know I'm about to get to a bench.
I think the one instance I didn't is there was one point where I tried using those follower badges where you have assistants following you attacking enemies, but it was killing me like mad, so I had to get rid of it immediately.
I did use that one shield.
Oh yeah, I used that for a bit too.
The shield for
Yeah,
healing.
but then I
used it
switched to the
twice.
spore. I used the shell for the majority of the run.
The spore, oh my gosh, extremely good. Especially because I always seem to have to heal at least once. So if I just heal right next to an enemy, and it's because the healing I had was pretty damn fast, it would damage the enemies quite a bit. So I thought it was really great.
Surprisingly, I thought they were going to be a bit stingy with that.
I don't know if I really
Yeah,
need
I don't really
this
think I tried it.
in the long run, but I felt really good when I got what's it called? When I got there was a charm where you could move while healing. That one felt really great.
What?
I equipped it for a bit, but doesn't it slow you down to like a walking speed?
It does unless you have the fast healing.
Okay, I didn't have that.
If you have fast healing, if you put those two together, you will move faster, way
If
faster.
I had fast healing, then I would have used it. But
Let's see. I had the compass active. The
I had
compass
that basically the entire time.
yeah,
Yeah, it was.
yeah, that's another thing I think
always-
should have been enabled just at the start, like dash. I don't know why.
Yeah, I can
Into a
understand the
pin.
buying the other stuff, which I still thought was weird, but I do wish that the compass thing was just automatically enabled, because I have to always use a notch. And there's a point where the risk reward becomes kind of
like if it was something like, oh well, you can see the map more easily this way. Let's put something in the settings.
I know I used the money charm the majority of the game.
So did I too. Yes, just because it felt I
Yeah.
didn't want to collect all the stuff so
Geo.
individually.
Yeah.
I only really took it off
I
whenever
didn't
I
use
was
it,
having
but-
issues on a boss, and I could just take it off because I knew where I would have to go, and I would just
Plus,
take
whenever
them
a
off
boss
real
is
quick.
beaten, you don't have to deal with anything really after that.
Yeah, exactly. So I just would take them off for the boss or whatever.
I took it off for the final boss, I believe.
Yeah, for the final boss, I took the stuff off because I didn't need to know where I am. It's actually really funny because if you have the what's it called, the compass on, and you look at the final boss, because I
Oh yeah, because it shows you in a totally random spot of the map, right?
Yeah, I don't know if that's a glitch or.
I think it is, because that does not look right. Like it shows you in the middle of fungal wastelands, right?
For me, it showed me in the middle, like, of this place right here. Like, I don't know why. It was really weird. I'm glad that it put us in 2 different spots.
Okay, so it must have been just not really recorded. Be right back, by the way.
See you tomorrow.
Alright, see you next year.
That's our old quote. You know, for me, too, when I was playing this game, and I wish Em was here to hear this, but it's fine. But I got so many of the like traversal items, like the endgame traversal items, like all at the same time. It was actually kind of funny because I was just exploring around, like trying to have a good time, right, and whatever. Yeah. And I was just exploring around, and it'd be like, you got Shadow Dash, okay. You got Swim in Poison. Okay.
Yeah, those are things I should have gotten sooner.
Yeah, but for me exploring around, I just so happened to get them all. I just thought it was funny more than anything, because I was just like, oh, okay. I got this, and this, which I needed all of these. I'm glad that the game just gave. Like I'm glad I got all these together. I just thought it was really funny. It's really awkward. I need M.
Emerald!
Did you manage to go to the Pantheon then, I wonder?
The what?
The God Seeker.
That sounds kind of familiar.
It's a dream world. You need to get a simple key, and there's a sarcophagus in the sewer.
Yeah, I opened that.
Yeah, that is the
I don't think I spent much time there. I think I tried a rematch of the Dung Defender, of course.
Of course.
But background. But,
I did a little of it, but
then I left when I realized it was DLC.
yeah, I realized it was DLC, and the main thing that I realized, or main issue, I guess, is that my friend told me that he didn't tell me that I was gonna be there forever. I just kind of assumed, yeah, I'm gonna be here forever if I don't do anything.
Yeah, like the problem with the DLC, by the way, is just that you know you're not going to be moving along the main plot. So unless it's something really, really good, it's worth your time staying there. You're probably better off just going for the 90%.
Yep, pretty much. Here it is, by the way, the fast heal.
Yeah, I never came back here. I always meant to, but I never did.
Hey, you get a whole bunch of stuff.
Just 2 out of the way. And by the time I wanted to come back here is when everything gets all disgusting and corrupted.
Myself.
I missed you, Em.
Sorry.
You finished 7 episodes.
Oh. That's not... Oh, no wonder. the stream was paused.
Oh
boy. Oh, okay. God only knows what you heard.
Get out of here, Sly. Get out, my nail master friend.
I guess I can kind of see the high thing, but just I had to read the text very quickly because you were skimming through it. But
yeah, I mean, I guess.
Okay, so where are we at now?
We're just kind of just talking about random stuff. Did you get the God Seeker Pantheon area?
Huh?
the Boss Rush DLC.
Boss Rush DLC.
No, I didn't.
You need a simple key. It's in the sewer. You go into the dream.
In the
of
waterways,
something.
right?
Yes.
Okay.
It's not important. It's a DLC thing. Me and Mayo both skipped it, which is fine because it's
we
a
both
boss
went
rush.
into it, but then we left basically immediately.
Also
I
because
fought one boss, and then I tried another, died, and then I left.
because another thing too about it is you can give yourself you can neuter yourself, which I did because I figured you'd get the best stuff. Like you can do less damage. You can have only like a 1 soul usage. You can half your HP. There's a lot of different stuff you can do, and that's a DLC, and that has 2 endings. But they're first of all they're not canon, and second of all, they're really hard apparently.
Oh, go figure!
Also, one thing I learned too is because I'm in the Iron Man mode, I figured I'd mention this. You can die in the dream worlds. It's totally fine.
Yeah.
Doesn't do anything.
I mean...
Yeah, I mean, it's a dream.
And I was mentioning this too, Em, which I said you kind of wish you were here for, is by the end of the game, I started to collect so many, like, of the end game stuff. How did you getting equipment go? Like, in terms of stuff that you needed, like swimming in the poison, the Shadow Dash, all that stuff. Because for me...
Well, this time around, I didn't need guides.
Oh, I didn't need a guide.
Surprisingly.
I did. I'll openly admit it.
What did you?
I couldn't find anything. Just finding where to go because the map never told me what direction to go.
Oh,
Well, I mean, you've got pins to work with too, which I did use those.
Yeah, I put those in locations where I was like, okay, I want to go here, I want to go here. There's something here that I clearly can't get, so I'm gonna pin this. Which, by the way, though, I do have to point this out because I did learn about this. And I think it's only a bit fair. Apparently, the pins were not originally in the game at the start, and they were patched in.
Oh, God.
Like, all of the pins?
Yes. I think. It might have been there were more pins. I'm not 100% certain, but I do remember reading that at some point, pins to an extent were patched in. So, it is something to consider, which does kind of really suck, because those pins were really helpful in me marking a few things that I really needed to remember the location of. So,
what is the name of the studio that made this?
It's Team Cherry, right?
Team Cherry, yes.
Team Cherry. What the hell were you thinking?
Which is crazy.
The lack of
here
pins,
is
my
absolutely
God.
massive.
Okay, I looked it up. God. I can't find anything online about this. I'm gonna give them it out.
Are there patch notes at all?
Yeah,
I
think I read it in a patch note where they were like added pins or something, or maybe it was the wiki page. One of the two.
All I could find was Etsy pages and other type of sites that are like, hey, you can buy pins based off the Hollow Knight series.
Ooh. I don't know where I would put the pins, but
no thanks. I've pre-ordered a few too many games. I have too many pins already.
Do you even know where you put them?
I want to say yes, but honestly, I have a MIA Spider-Man pin, and I'm starting to wonder where that Kingdom Hearts 3 pin went to.
I wouldn't doubt if your brother got a hold of them somehow.
I wouldn't either, actually.
That sounds like something that would happen.
Yes, it does.
But how did your guys' overall progression go in terms of like getting stuff that you needed to in order to beat the game? Were you guys like me, where you were exploring most of the entire game because you wanted to explore? Because I wanted to explore for the fun of it because I was enjoying myself, and it so happened to be that when I was getting to the end of my journey, that's when I started getting all of the stuff that I needed.
Slow at first.
It was very slow at first.
Yeah. Much harder at first too.
Yeah, like I think my playthrough took 4 hours. I think like my first 10 hours I spent within the first 4 areas. But
yeah, the
fourth area was barely touched upon. But just not counting stuff like Fog Canyon, because I know you have to pass through there really quick.
Yeah, which I hate that they did that. That they would put.
Yes, it's even worse that it's so easy to get into that room with Cornifer, so you think that, oh, you need to go find him. You can't get to him.
No, not till late game.
Yep. It is so mean.
It is very cruel. It makes me really upset.
And what is this again?
The corner for a location for Fog Canyon.
Yeah, which is Jellyfish Land. You have to get really late in the game because you need the Shadow Dash, which is one of the last upgrades you need.
Yes. I think it was the last one.
I never got Shadow Dash then.
No, you did. You
did because it's mandatory.
It's the Shadow Dash is when you dash it, you turn black for a second and it lets you dodge attacks.
No, I didn't get it. I mean, I legitimately did not get
it's
it.
mandatory.
You have to. It's mandatory.
Because one of the additional things of the Shadow Dash is to let you get by those black barriers.
Are you talking about the dash that goes down as in...
No, the dash... No.
Okay, let me check real quick, because I swear...
It's mandatory.
I swear I do not have it.
It is 100...
Shade Cloak, that's what it's called.
Shade Cloak. I'm almost 100% certain it's mandatory. Maybe there's another way you can get around things. I don't know, but I'm almost...
Because I never did...
It's not glitching, I don't think.
There was no way for me to actually go through the shadow gates that we're seeing.
You need the Shadow Dash.
Yeah. But it's mandatory to get to the Dreamer in Fog Canyon, isn't it?
I think so. That or you need to be able to go in the poison, I think.
No, I don't have it. I actually do not have it. Let me even stream it on Discord to prove it.
No, don't. It'll ruin the overlay.
Please don't.
Okay. Let me see if I can time this right then.
Why time it right? You can just look in the pause menu.
Okay.
You dingbat.
I'm disbanding.
You moron.
I'm disbanding even harder.
You poo face.
Alright, but go back to my original point, though. Like that was really mean to them.
I agree. It was a really mean. You can't just make me go through an area, hear Cornifer's beautiful humming.
Mm-hmm.
Is it where Mothwing Cloak is?
Mothwing Cloak is the regular dash.
That's the double jump, I think, actually.
Isn't it? Oh.
No. It's the dash.
Oh, never mind.
Or are you talking about Descending Dark?
No, that's the downward thrust.
Well, I have it.
That one you also need, I think.
Well, I'm not sure if I do... Well, I'll say this, the AoE on that thing, my god.
It's really good. You know, maybe
places
you
found, think.
Did you get the swimming in poison?
Yeah.
Okay, so maybe...
maybe you circumvented it with that.
Yeah.
You can also get Fog Canyon with that.
I thought you needed the Shadow Dash, but...
I did too.
I guess not.
Right, yeah, I think you do because the Ancient Basin also has one.
The system? People, did I just cheese the system?
I don't think so. I think maybe there was just another way to do things that you did. I'm not certain.
And we both did it another way, I guess.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, I'm screen capping it at the moment.
Okay.
I'm not streaming it. I'm not streaming it. Here it is. I don't have it, and I'm right before the Hollow Knight.
The Hecko Knight. It's so weird.
Well, huh.
Maybe me and Mayo were just so accustomed to getting...
Oh, wait, hang on. Are you talking about the like the light...
You turn black when you dash.
Yes.
No, I don't have it then.
Okay.
Yeah, you would know. It's very obvious.
Yeah. And you can dodge attacks with it.
Yes.
Which is nice.
I never really used until the final boss, even though I know I should have.
I'll have you know, in order to fight the Radiance, you do need that, and you do need to dodge, what's it called? Like, you do need to be able to dodge that stuff.
Hmm.
An unusually specific thing that I don't have.
But do we have anything else to add to that?
I was gonna ask actually real quick. Did you guys have any issues on any specific areas or bosses or anything? Like, what was the hardest stuff for you guys personally?
Okay.
Like, what bosses and stuff?
I assume you're talking mandatory stuff, right? Because like the hardest thing for me is probably the Colosseum. It's not mandatory.
Anything in general, yeah, the Coliseum was hard. I got to the final, like, almost to the end of the Coliseum, like, 3 times in the last one, and I was so upset. I'm even more upset because you don't get anything for finishing the 3rd one besides an achievement and money.
Yeah. When I found out about that, that's when I gave up that one, honestly.
I mean,
you can actually get important stuff out of the first 2.
I mean, it is called the Fools.
Oh, I know, like the Tournament of Fools or whatever it's called.
Yeah, the Fools Coliseum or whatever. So, you know,
here we are, Fog Canyon.
I can't be too... I know, I'm just going to get to this area as soon as possible because there's nothing to do here.
I think that, like, the second fight against Hornet was really bad for me. I know that. Which I find really funny because the first fight was so easy to me, but... I guess she came back with vengeance.
She was like, I'm supposed to be difficult. I died to her.
I'm trying to think of the different bosses. I don't remember a whole lot of them that well. Like, obviously, Dung Defender left an impact. But, I don't think he was hard.
Dung Defender is great. There's also a rematch of him I never got to do.
I didn't either.
Apparently, it's actually really hard, too. It's Dung Defender in his prime.
Ooh.
Which was not that hard.
Wait, did you fight the second Dung Defender battle?
No.
Oh, okay, so then you didn't, you liar.
I thought you were just talking about Dung Defender in general.
No, he's got a second battle.
The original one was easy.
Yeah, original one is easy, but he's fun because he's like, oh, yo.
Wait, he's my favorite boss in the game. It's just, why do you think I put him on instead of Hornet or whatever?
I'm glad he becomes, like, your friend, too. I mean, Hornet probably...
Like, I think he's the only one in the game that actually, like, genuinely... He's like, oh, I'm sorry, I thought you were in one of those bugs, but no.
Yeah, I really like the Hornet battle, personally. I just thought it was really... It was one of the ones where her patterns were really easy to, like...
They're easy to figure out, but it was so easy to get hit.
Yeah, but I don't know. There was something about that I had a lot of fun with. So she was one of my favorite battles. As for battles that I struggled with, alright, so you guys know when you go into, like, the archives in the City of Tears, and then there's the mage boss. Yeah, his dream version was a hell and a half, to say.
Wait, I thought the dream bosses died in one hit.
No.
Are you talking about the mage?
Yes.
The one that burst through the window?
Yes.
I don't know what
he can piss right off.
You know the mage, Mayo, that you fight him and then he jumps to get the downward, like, explosion attack.
I vaguely remember this guy and I beat him first try.
Yeah, I mean, I beat him normally.
Are you talking about the main boss itself or the dream, Mayo? Because the dream one is hell.
The dream one is hard. It is like an endurance challenge.
Well, I'm assuming the dream boss wasn't mandatory because I didn't know there was one.
It was not, but you get like 400 or 500 dream points for killing him, so it's quite worth.
You better give me that much.
Yeah,
or I'm going to have a damn fit.
It's quite worth. It's really good. But yeah, no, that boss I had issues with. Also, Lost Kin I had issues with, which was another dream boss. Which, that one was like the Hollow... There was like this Hollow Knight-esque enemy.
I don't remember any of these dream bosses. I don't think I ever had one.
You probably just...
You had to have one.
You probably just ignored it, if I had to guess, which is okay. Like, it doesn't bug me.
I mean, I had a lot of dream points anyway. Without them. I think I still had like 1,000 by the end anyway.
Seems like I got the finished Dream Nail.
Mm-hmm.
You got the very last one? You got all 3 pale ores? Oh, Dream Nail. Sorry. I was thinking about the normal nail. Ignore me.
Yeah, no.
Well, I mean, I do kind of wish. I do kind of wish I did have all of the...
There's a lot of grinding.
What do you mean a lot of grinding?
To get the upgraded nail.
Did you get the very last one?
Yes, I did.
You found all 3 pale ore?
Oh yeah, the ore was easy. The problem was all the geo.
The ore, it took me forever to find.
I found it almost immediately. I think the only one I had trouble...
It was funny?
I think for a while I thought it was in Deep Nest, but it wasn't.
It's funny because a lot of these,
I just completely skipped it.
The thing that I find really funny is there's so much stuff in the game that I was just backtracking to explore, and I ended up finding it by complete accident.
Mm-hmm.
That happens so much. Now, I'm totally, I'm down with that. I'm totally fine with it. I just find it really funny because it happens so much. Like, for all the pale ore, I was looking for 3. I couldn't find the 3 pale ore to save my life. But then, randomly, I was just like, hey, I'm going to explore this area. And then it just so happened the pale ore was there. And I was like, oh, okay. I guess that's how a lot of Metroidvanias can work, though. Some things you know where they're at, and some things you're like, oh yeah, I need to go back here. And you're like, okay, I'll just go back here because I know I need to. And then you go back there, and then it's like, oh, by the way, here's one of the things you were looking for. I'm like, oh, interesting.
I didn't know I was looking for this, but thank you.
Yeah, but thank you. It happened a lot. The perfect dream nail was great. All right, then, I need to know, did you end his suffering?
Yes, I did.
You are a terrible person.
Who?
The guy that makes the nail.
The blacksmith.
If you max it out, he stands. I was like, I've made a perfect thing. Like, so please, kill me.
Yeah,
I need to die from this perfect blade.
His entire goal is to make the perfect nail, and he makes the perfect nail, and he asks you to kill him with said nail. And you're a terrible person for doing that.
Yes, I am.
Because you can save him, and if you do, he goes to the painter nail master, and he sits there like he's gonna be painted like one of your French girls.
That's great, but if you kill him, you get a trophy out of it. So
you get a trophy for both.
Oh well, I guess they demand 2 playthroughs then.
Yeah, they do. That's like one of the few times. Well, there's a few. There's that can take a few. I know there's one where they want you to beat the game in under 20 hours or 20.
There's one where you in 5.
I think. Yeah, I think that's the.
Excuse me.
Yeah, it's a speedrun trophy. It's a
nice voice crack.
Shut up.
It's been a while since I said that. I guess
it's just painful.
Overall, I must know then, because I feel like we're slowly getting to the brink. Are there any actual bosses? How about the Mantis Lords? Because that was probably my first hard section.
That was kind of hard. I thought False Knight was harder.
What did the False Knight do to you?
False Knight was horrible. I told you, it took me like 50 tries to beat him.
That's the first boss.
Yes, and it was horrible.
Man.
Like, no joke, it was one of the hardest bosses in the game.
Maybe you just weren't used to everything just yet, so I could see.
No, I'm pretty sure if I fought it again, I would still die. Times. It was not fun.
If you could beat the Hollow Knight, I think you can beat him.
I beat him by a fluke because AI glitched out.
The Hollow Knight's AI?
Yes. He just stood still for like a minute.
It might have been just
reminding me of that, by the way.
It might have just been a part of the battle because that's supposed to be like you're fighting a corrupt.
No, like he doesn't attack or anything. He just stood still for a solid 60 seconds. And let me wail on him.
Yeah, I don't know if it was
from the first phase.
Fake Knight, right?
Yeah, the first boss, the very first.
No, I'm talking about Hollow Knight. Hollow Knight did that.
Oh yeah. I'm telling you that might be. It could be an intentional thing. I know the Hollow Knight is really weird. Because when he stabs himself.
Yeah.
Sometimes he does it a lot. Sometimes he does it a little. Sometimes he'll do it midway while you're fighting him. The Hollow Knight's AI in general is just very bizarre. So I wouldn't doubt if him quote unquote glitching out was normal. Like, what wasn't weird, like, or whatever. You know what I mean? Like, that might have been intentional.
I sincerely doubt it. It didn't look like it. He didn't have any...
It's time to see one of my favorite enemies of all time.
This. Okay. Are you talking about the dream variant?
What?
The dream variant of the False Knight? Because...
No. Didn't know there was one.
There is no dream variant. Is there a dream variant?
Yes, there is!
There's a second False Knight, but I never fought him.
The dream variant I fought.
Good for you, I guess.
And he was rough to deal with.
I just have my main story bosses.
No more rough than the Lost Kin. Just Google the name. Fuck that dream boss. Actually,
Lost Kin.
I need to know this too. I'm already on the Hollow Knight wiki, so
actually, the worst fucking boss. It wasn't the worst boss. It was just hard as hell.
I kind of recognize him. I think I might have fought him actually.
Yeah, you probably fought the normal variant because there's 2 variants: the
Maybe.
dream version and then the non-dream version. I had the glorious ability to fight the dream version, and the dream version could eat my poop. I hate him.
No wonder I recognize him. Then he's a main story boss.
Not Broken Vessel.
Broken Vessel was the easy variant, I'm pretty sure.
Oh, you're talking about this. Oh boy.
Lost Kin. That
So,
boss
Haunted Foes?
I guess.
No, I'm not asking for the soundtrack, okay?
Hey, the soundtrack is nice, though.
Hey there, did you finally found the guy in the background?
Yeah,
I didn't say anything bad about that. Calm down.
So yeah, these fragile things, which if they die, if you use them, for a hefty price of 15,000, you can make the one that buffs your damage permanent.
I think you can make them all permanent.
You can, yes.
Yes, the Lost
It's
Kin is
awesome.
the dream variant.
Yes, and
Oh,
he is
boy.
a pain in the ass, and if you ever should fight him, which you should if you want pain and suffering, he's there. Which, by the way, I'm actually curious. Because you can, the game lets you, after you beat the game, you can go back in and you can just play the game and do what you, like, get everything if you want. Firstly, are any of you guys going to do that? I'm curious.
Probably not.
No, not a chance.
Dang, yes.
I have way too big of a backlog.
I guess.
By the time I would ever get around to that, if I wanted to, I would just start it. It would be way too long.
Fair enough, fair enough. I love these enemies. I also want to mention, too, I love all the funny noises creatures make in this game. There's a lot of funny noises.
The mushrooms going, "Rah!" or whatever it's called.
Yeah, no, that's literally the dudes I'm talking about right now.
Or the, where?
I love the mushrooms, too, which we saw real quick, that, like, bash their head into hit
Yes,
you. They're like,
that's what I
bash,
thought you were
bash.
talking about when you said your favorite enemy in the game. Because I thought, nope, you would relate to that, wouldn't you?
Yes,
This is an image of Clutchy whenever he listens to, what's it called? Death Nails. Or Death Grip.
Bah, bah,
The
bah,
death
bah,
metal.
bah. I just love the enemies in this game. There's some of them are ridiculous and some of them aren't. Well, I don't love the enemies. That's an understatement because some are really obnoxious. But
It's funny to me that the weird beetle enemies that float around in the starting area, how they sound like a pig or a dog.
Huh.
They just see you and they're like,
That was a surprisingly good pig sound.
what, me or M?
And
Yeah, it was. I mean, he's from the south. Clearly, it's really easy for him.
don't disgust me, heathen.
Well, I don't know if any of you guys have more to add to the game
Not
in general.
really. Honestly, I kind of ran out of topics a
while.
while ago. I've just been going to slow.
Yeah, if you guys just want to give some closing thoughts, anybody want to start off with the closing thoughts then? How you felt
good
overall? What would
good
you rate
game.
the game? All this stuff.
Good game. 8 out of 10 Geo.
8 out of 10 Geo. Whoa, that's a lot of Geo, dude. That's
I
like
mean, it's very much a game that isn't one that would appeal to me, but unlike Metroid Prime, where it's a game that doesn't appeal to me, but I still can't have fun or even understand why anyone would like it. I can at least understand why people would like this one. But I can see why people call this fun or a good time.
what would you rate it out of 10?
I don't rate out of 10. You know that.
You know, I try every time.
10 heads out of 726 Stone
Oh, God.
Defenders. Why not?
My thing is flashing again. Why is this happening? Probably have to restart my
Oh, your desktop broke again.
It's fine, it stopped. Well, luckily we're getting to the end of the video anyways. So
Thought you were about to say
overall,
the end of the game.
I do like, you know what, I'll show off the Hollow Knight if I can find, or maybe I'll show off the Radiance, because you guys never saw the Radiance. You probably won't. But, I did want to say, I think, I forgot to mention this, but I do think this game is really good. It's actually probably one of my favorite Metroidvanias now. There was one big complaint that I did have, though, unfortunately. And this is mostly for 100% completion's sake. I think maybe the base game will be fine, but I had a severe issue with... I really wanted... Like, when I was exploring around and stuff like that, it takes such a long time due to the amount of stag stations there are. There's a good amount of them. I wish there was a little bit more, because when I'm going to 100% the game, it got kind of...
Yeah, even in 90%, that got a bit slow. Like, there should have been more.
Like,
at least one per area.
Yeah, like, I don't mind backtracking in these kind of games, because that's what you expect, honestly, and it's fine as is. But after a while, it was getting a little tiresome having to run, like, super long of distances.
Yeah, just enjoyable as running around, all that is. There's a reason fast travel exists.
Yeah,
and now you understand. Now you know one thing about Prime that I didn't also care for: the lack of fast travel.
Oh yeah, I know. I complained about it back then too. Still think it's BS.
I don't even think I mentioned that before.
I still think.
I think it would have made the game infinitely better.
I still think Prime does it fine, because in Prime there's the thing is with Prime, the map in this game is like to freaking double the size of Prime's. It's huge. This map is huge, and I think that, which is great, but I think the issue, like I said, that I was having was the fact that it was so big, I feel like I needed a little bit more to travel between. So it would so then I could actually you know what I mean. Like, I felt like I needed to I felt like there needed to be a little bit more traveling options in the game, and you guys agree, because the map is so big, and when you're trying to explore everything, it kind of just got a little tiresome having to walk through some areas where I had no reason to be in.
Well, I'll say this. In terms of fast travel, what is it called? Light Spark?
I assume you mean the crystal thing. The crystal dash.
What? Yeah, where it's very close to being like Shine Spark, that's what it is.
Yeah.
Close to it. I'm thankful that you actually get that at some point. It's just you get it too damn late.
I don't think that's the issue. I just think because there's a lot of not flat areas, so I don't think it really helps with the whole traveling issue.
Well, it still makes it quicker.
It does, you're right.
I didn't get it.
You did, you have to. That one is mandatory. That's the one where you you hold down L2 and it charges up these crystals under you, and then you fly.
Oh, Super Turbo.
Yeah.
That's what's called the controls.
Oh, okay. Yeah, it's that move we were talking about. Gosh darn it. Gosh darn it.
I thought you were talking about some kind of fast travel warp.
No. If we were, then I wouldn't be complaining about. Oh yeah, this is the person you're supposed to save, by the way. Just want to tell you.
Yeah, I tried for the longest time and I couldn't figure out how to do it. Let her be for the entire game.
You want to know how? You cry.
Sounds about right.
My stuff is still flickering. Also, it's over here. Is it is the flickering doing anything to the stream, or
no? Nothing. Doesn't show up at all.
Okay.
Didn't look like it.
Oh well, I just died on Iron Man mode.
Well, there you go.
Dead forever.
You were the one that picked Iron Man mode.
You died to a mushroom. Okay.
I kind of wasn't really.
You died to a mushroom.
Defeated. All right, let me show you guys real quick, just so you can see the.
They really want to rub it in.
The hard boss. Also, you see this black shadow dash M? That's what we were talking about.
I do not have it.
But so I guess while I'm doing this, Mayo's turn for game. So I would rate this game a 9 out of 10. Actually, I forgot to mention that because I do really like it. I just think that fast travel stuff that was the biggest issue for me.
Yeah, that was annoying.
I wish there was just more.
Or once you finish the boss and trying to get the post game, because I did do some post game stuff. I went after the collector and all that, but I went through a bit of the Queen's Garden. I did do some of it. It's just,
which is surprising. Overall, it sounds like you actually rather enjoyed yourself. I thought you weren't gonna like it because it was the Souls-like game.
Yeah, I did not like the Souls elements of it. Like I think I mentioned before, how quickly I died, and how I just not having any of it.
Yep.
But the parts that are all its own, I think are fine. Metroidvania is fine.
Which, you know, I'm actually glad that you overall would say you've had a pretty good experience.
Would I play it again? Honestly, probably not. And if I do, it's gonna.
I'll make him play it on Yoga Doctor, guys. Don't worry about it. Nah, if anyone's gonna play it, that'd be me.
Yeah, definitely.
Okay, sorry about that.
Don't worry about it. So anyways, the next game on the chopping block.
Oh, right. Next chopping block game. I'm finally making you play Twooey.
Huh?
The world ends with you. Finally making you play it.
Gosh.
It's under 20 hours.
I'm playing The World Ends With You. Oh no. No, the world ends with you, Mayo. Making me play this game.
I'm kind of lost. That's the name of the game?
Yes. It's a Square Enix
It's
game.
gonna be weird. How am I gonna play it with the DS controls? Are they really that crazy?
Yes, they are that crazy, and please do not play the DS version unless you have the physical hardware. I know people swear by DS version, but they swear by it on... If you're gonna emulate it, emulate the phone version. You're not missing much, I swear.
Phone?
Yes, it's actually a really good port.
Okay.
So this is the Radiance, by the way. This is the true final boss.
But they added a bunch of features and stuff there too. It was the definitive version of the game for a while.
Still technically, as I know a lot of people will vouch never to get the, what's it called?
I mean, the Switch version is technically the definitive version. It's just docked version controls are kind of iffy, and it's definitely not worth $50. But if you already have it, then yeah, it's the best version.
Well, I'm not ending this video till I freaking die or beat the Radiance. Which, yes, this is the true last boss you guys missed. You would have known if you fought this. I know M hasn't fought this because you need the Shadow Dash in order to get it. So I'll have you all just watch me beat this. So the world ends with you. So I have been wanting to play this game for a while too, so I think that's pretty cool.
Haven't really heard of it.
I have.
It's kind of in the same camp of games as Klonoa and Psychonauts that a lot of people know about it, but not a lot of people play it. Yeah.
Okay.
It didn't sell the greatest. Especially on DS. I know the phone and Switch versions actually sold decently.
Which is good. Look, he's just making me play it because of Kingdom Hearts, alright?
I mean, that's half the reason. Although it's being Kingdom Hearts, like I'll get to that when we get to the episode next month. But,
wait, what? Oh god, are you gonna make him play Chain of Memories?
No, I'm not doing that. Believe me, I checked. Every Kingdom Hearts game is over 20 hours. I looked.
What game would you force him to play first?
I mean, I'm not evil. I wouldn't have him do the first. I'm not that mean. I'm not gonna make. If I was that evil, I'd make him play Dream, so I could see the utter confusion.
Me, I'm already half Xehanort!
Oh no. So I'm just turning to something else entirely.
Look, I said I'm finishing this video once I finish this.
You're right.
Whether I die. I died many times against this boss, FYI. I don't know if you could understand why.
No, I can see why. Okay.
It's kind of a difficult boss.
Kinda.
Just a little bit.
He says kinda.
I mean, look at how far out his health bar goes and he's still having trouble.
I'm still missing 1 HP, I think. Oh wait, no! I forgot! I'm using the thing that gives me increased HP.
Oh.
Which one though? Sure, not the blessing.
There's I don't know, it just increases your HP. There's just a charm that increases your HP in this game. I used it because I was having issues killing this boss. I don't know if you guys want to see the end of this because this is an ending. I don't know if you really want to see that. Spoilers.
I mean, we beat the game already. Does it truly matter?
It's not that much difference, so no. But, alright, well, we'll end the video there. Thank you all for watching. Overall, 8 out of 10, 9 out of 10, Mayo Doctor out of 10.
10 out of 2,706 or whatever I get it.
Somebody will do the math of that, and it'll be a very low score.
Oh, you think? Oh, no. I said 10 helmets out of dung defenders. So, how much is a helmet? How much is a dung defender?
I don't know. What's the square root of mayonnaise?
I'm still trying to figure that out.
You guys are crazy. Alright, well, we'll see you guys in the next episode of the Romper Crew. We play The World Ends With Your Mother.
Yes.
What? Okay.
No, we'll see you guys in the next part where we do The World Ends With You. So, see you guys then. Say your goodbyes.
Bye.
Later, Tater.
Get out of here. Go. Scram. We're done.
Oh. Okay, Dad.